My name's Dr. Vanessa Lapointe. I'm a psychologist, parenting educator, and also mom to two growing boys. One of the questions parents often come to me with is wondering about why their children have after-school meltdowns. I remember picking up my youngest son from kindergarten in grade 1, and we would no sooner hit the parking lot than he would go into this massive meltdown where he'd be kicking my shins and telling me I'm the worst mother ever and wondering why I packed him such a terrible lunch, and it would go on and on. In a moment when I would have thought that my child would have been very happy to see me, it seemed like everything could not be more opposite. And so what is it about the after-school meltdown, and why does it happen, and what can we do about it? The after-school meltdown happens because your child is away from you for a long day, a kind of day where they have to handle all sorts of expectations, oftentimes disappointments, navigate social interactions, and really find their way through a bunch of challenges without being able to look to you for guidance or support. When you are your child's chosen one, the one that they go to for comfort and for care, that can be really difficult for them. And so they hang on to themselves this whole school day, and when you come to pick them up, they can finally let it rip and let go of all of that, which means that they have this big meltdown in your safe presence. They've literally stored all of that up all day long at school because you're the one they love and you're the one they know they can go to for comfort and support. That's why the after-school meltdown happens. Now, there's a few things that you can keep in mind as a parent that can ease the after-school meltdown and its intensity, or maybe even help you bypass it altogether. The first thing to think about is, how can you fill your child up in the morning? So before you send them out the door and drop them off to school, how can you make sure that they're really topped up with a whole bunch of connection from you? Maybe you set your alarm clock a few minutes earlier every morning so that you can actually sit down maybe to a morning meal together, snuggle up to read a story together, share a warm cup of something in your kitchen together, anything that you can do to give them a little bit of extra dose of you before you head off into your day and they head off into their day. Another thing to think about is, how can you send yourself to school with your child even though you won't really be at school with your child? And there's a bunch of ways that could be accomplished. You could head off to the playground the evening before and leave a stash of kisses for your child underneath the monkey bars so that they can head back there the next day during recess and collect up all of those kisses and feel like they're holding you close. You can send little notes in their lunch bag. You could laminate a photograph of you with them that they can tuck into a pocket, or even hang from a lanyard around their neck underneath their t-shirt so they kind of carry you with them through the school day. A third thing for you to think about is that it's really helpful to children to not have to focus on this long day of being away from you. And so in fact, we want to turn your morning goodbye into a hello. And how we do that is, rather than saying to our children, goodbye and have a great day at school and here's all the things that you're going to do during your school day, you say goodbye and I'm really looking forward to picking you up. I was thinking after school today we would go to that great park with that new spinny thing in it, and we'll have a great time there. And so the goodbye in that sense is turned into a hello. Another thing to think about is that if your child does go into an after-school meltdown kind of reaction, really make a lot of room for that. Just allow them to let that all out. As Freud used to say, it's better out than in. And so you really want your child to feel safe in communicating those things to you, and you can set it up for them that they'll feel safe in that by the way that you respond. You'll say things like, yeah, I know it looks like you've had a really hard day. Looks to me like you need to get home for some mama love time. I know sometimes school can feel really hard. It's okay, sweetie. I've got you and we're okay. The final thing to think about is that you can use rituals and routines to really take the guesswork out of the child's day for them. We are creatures of habit as human beings, and we love our routines. And so in your morning time, have a morning routine that your child knows they can depend on. Have a we just got home from school routine. Have a dinner time routine. Have a this is what we do after dinner before bed kind of routine, and have a really solid bedtime routine. When children can kind of just relax and rest into the knowledge that those routines exist and there isn't sort of going to be any surprises or any guesswork in any of that for them, then it kind of allows them to cope a little bit better. They can top up their reserves a little more plentifully and have a lot more on board in order to be able to handle the next school day, hopefully taking some of the steam out of that after school meltdown.